Hi there, welcome to my channel. It's Tina Stitches. This is a Flosstube channel, which is a community on YouTube that is primarily cross-stitch based. People that film Flosstube videos are Flosstubers, and we do cross-stitch. Lots of other projects, crafting in the mix too, but my channel is primarily cross-stitch. You will see other types of embroidery, but mostly cross-stitch. Let's say cross-stitch with some specialty stitches. I do like a specialty stitch. So today is Monday, May 30th, 2022. We're hitting the end of May. So this is going to be my May wrap-up and June plans. So you're probably wondering why I'm recording on a Monday. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I have this week off. I think I did mention it because we are supposed to be moving the oldest son out of the craft room and over to his own house down the road. Right now, they're over there doing some more plumbing, basic plumbing, that it should be just about done, and then he can move in. It's not finished. His house is not finished, but it's summer and he's not going to freeze. So, yeah. So that's where we are, life update. So yeah, we're thinking in the next day or two he'll actually be over there, and I'll be moving all of my stuff from down here up there to get it out of the way so that we can tear apart the kitchen. So we can order a new kitchen. Yeah. Trying to pinch pennies to pay for the new kitchen. So no haul this week. I do have a little bit of haul coming in from 123 because I needed some more floss for my Alice in Wonderland project, which you will see in a little bit. So I didn't even make any notes. This is pretty much sit down and film it type video. So I'm just going to look at my notes from last week, and everything is pretty much the same. A couple of different projects, but yeah, let's try not to forget beloved this time. Oh, the camera went all green. It's a very gray day, and there we go. Like, what the heck was that about? So yeah, very gray day. We are having water issues. Water issues in that we are not short on water. We have a bounty of water, an abundance. We are overflowing. Literally, the roads are overflowing. Washouts, etc. It has calmed down a little bit, but we actually had a thunderstorm yesterday, hail and everything. So don't know what the lakes are like right now, but I've heard they're about 7 to 8 feet above their normal level. So that's quite high. Yeah, we've actually, a lot of the towns in my area have declared state of emergency because, yeah, roads are flooded out and all of that stuff. But anyways, so WIPs, works in progress. Also, before I forget, welcome to anybody who's new, and welcome back to all of my friends who keep joining me. I hope you like what you see and you subscribe and stick around for more. So WIPs, works in progress. What have I worked on this week? So, well, the past week I did work at work. I thought I was going to have to do overtime, but I managed to get all my work done. And I got to leave Friday at 4 without a pile of work to worry about. So, I have worked on my usual Beloved and a couple of Mirabilias and a New Start, and I don't have my last New Start for too many reasons. I was going to do 5 New Starts in May because there were 5 Sundays in May. I did 4. One of them was barely a start. Another one is really good progress. What was the third one that I started? Come on. Remind me. Oh. It's finish. It's right back. It's right there, actually. You can't see it. So, this is one of my finishes, and I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, I just wanted to get a black tray so I could show that properly, because it's so tiny, it actually is kind of hard to show on camera. Okay, so I guess we'll just start with the WIPs. I'm just going to go in the order they are in front of me, and then tell you about them. So this one here, directly in front of me, is in my Alice in Wonderland bag. I try to stitch on an Alice in Wonderland project at least one on the go all the time. And last year, Owl Forest Embroidery put out a freebie stitch-along pattern. And I had the fabric. I pulled floss from my stash, did a conversion to what their DMC, I pulled out the DMC and pulled out specialty floss and matched my specialty floss to the DMC colors they had listed. And so far I am kind of caught up. I'm still working on it, so it's still in the Q-snap, and it'll be, I was hoping to have it finished this month. This was actually called for WIPGO. WIPGO is a Facebook group run by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and she pulls, you basically have a bingo board, and she calls out 2 numbers, and you make your own goals, and you work on those 2 projects for whatever your goal was. My goal is 22 hours or a finish, if something is, that close to being finished. I thought this one would be that close to being finished, and it probably is, but I didn't put 22 hours into it. Because stuff. So this is where I am. This is the yellow color that I've ordered from 123 because I'm almost out of the skein that I have. I think I might have enough to finish what's left, but I'm going to be like one strand short, I'm sure, until I order it. And once it comes in, I'll have enough and won't need it. So, you know, you got to work with chaos. So here's where I am. I do have to keep in mind this design here is one stitch too high or too low. I can't remember. But I know it's off, so not to count off of that. So I'm working on the table. The Sleepy Dormouse is done, and I'm on to the teapot over here. And then once that is done, it's just the yellow tablecloth to finish, and then this part number 17, will be finished. And that's how it's looking so far. I'm really happy with my colors. So I even put the back stitching on the dormouse there, because the nose was black and the back stitching was going to be in black, and I just went ahead with 2 strands on my needle. I think it's adorable. So that's where that's at. This has been designated as my sunroom project, which it used to be my lunchtime project, but I've taken smaller projects to work on during my lunch break. So this has been designated sunroom. So if I'm out there stitching, that's the project to work on. The only problem with that is it hasn't been nice enough to sit out there. So that's why it hasn't got enough love this month. Hopefully June is going to be warmer and I'll get more sunroom stitching. The problem is this is the week that I have off, and I'm going to be too busy to be sitting in the sunroom, and it's raining anyways, so that's not going to happen. Not today. And maybe a day or two I will be able to stitch out there, but not today. So the next project I'm going to show you, that's a that one is part of plan. So this one is the other number that was called for on my Whipco board, was Adia, the Garden Fairy by Nora Corbett. Mirabilia Designs. Now, I started this last May, and so I was very happy to pull it out again this May, because I do the Blimey Cat method for Stitch Maynia, which is if I started something last year during Maynia, I want to work on it on its anniversary this year. Well, as it was pulled, the number was pulled for Whipco, that did a double whammy, but I didn't actually work on it on its anniversary. But I worked on it for most of the month, and here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. And when you last saw it, this part was done, so I came over here and I worked on this part. So I really didn't get, I only did 1 day's worth of stitching on this one for this week, this past week, because I was at like 19 and a half hours, so I just needed 1 more evening of stitching. to get my goal for WIPGO. So this is goal met. And I don't know when you will see it again. I'm thinking you might not see it again this year, maybe. I don't have any particular plans for finishing it immediately. That was the other thing that I ordered from 123. Because I had to order that floss, I went through the charms on that and ordered them to make sure I have them for when I do finish it, because there's a lot of charms, little, crystal flowers and crystal leaves and things like that all along the garland here. Treasures. There are 9 packets of treasures. So hopefully I ordered enough. So the next project I worked on is another Mirabilia that I started last year during Maynia. I started this one May 13th because that happens to be my sister's birthday. And this one makes me think of her because she was a huge fan of butterflies. So I am stitching this for myself, but it makes me think of her. I forgot to mention my fabric for Adia is 32 count Huntress Belfast linen by Picture This Plus. Queen Mariposa, this pattern here. Here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. Not a whole lot more done, but I did work over here and over here. So that's where we're at. And this is stitched on 32 count Zephyr by Picture This Plus. And that's where it's at. So I worked on this a few nights because it's May and my sister's birthday's in May. So it was kind of my focus for the month, which is why Alice didn't get as much love. And I was one of those silly people that put a number on 13, but it happened to be the realist kit that I had already finished. So I was very lucky that way. So I am all caught up on WIPGO except for Alice. That's the only one that is being dragged out longer than beyond the month it's called. I am also not doing anything about, like, Queen Mariposa is on my WIPGO board, but I'm not counting any of the hours until it's actually called. And so here is my WIPGO board. So if it has a small X in the corner, it's called. If it has a big X, it's done. So Adia was actually the number 13. Right? Yeah, 13, and it's done. Alice is in number 14. That's the one being pulled forward. 18 is Dawn, or 8 is Dawn Biscornu, which is finished. The numbers for June have been called. They are 16 and 9. And for my board, those are my next projects that I'm going to show you, because one of them was one of my new starts for May, and I am so much happier with this than I am when I originally started it. I started it back in July of last year when my husband had to go for back surgery. I decided to take a kit with us for travel, hotel, and waiting room, and all that, you know, stitching time. And I worked on it in the hotel and in the hospital, but I wasn't happy with it. So it's a very beautiful project, and I really, really like it. This is Girl in a Poppy Field by Vervico. Yep. Girl in a Poppy Field. This is, I had it on my 1, 2, 3 wish list, and my husband or son went ahead and bought it for me for Christmas. Comes with DNC thread, needle, and Ada. So like I said, I started it in the hotel and the hospital, and that's how much I had done. And then I didn't pick it up again because I don't enjoy stitching on Ada. So I knew I wanted to change the fabric. And so I went through my stash, and I, like I did with the Simplicity Vintage Sewing pattern, I changed the fabric. And I'm so much happier with this fabric. I made working copies as well. That's one of the other reasons that it didn't get very much love, was because I didn't have working copies. But once I had the fabric, I was like, get those working copies made so I can stitch. So I did, and I don't think I've put it down since. I did my start on Sunday, and then I'm just going to refer to my calendar here. Yeah, I did my start on Sunday, and then I worked on Adia for the 3.5 hours. That got me over my goal. And then I worked on Queen Mariposa, and then I picked up this one again, and I didn't put it down. So this is 5 nights of stitching, just in the evenings, watching TV. And this is on 32 count platinum by Zweigart, And here's where it's at. This is so much nicer. The color goes so well with those threads. Here's the original. Now it goes this way. Let's see if I can do this. So, I mean, I hate to be an Ada hater, but I don't enjoy Ada. Sorry. To be honest, this one is kind of rough. So that might be part of it. But yeah, I mean, right now, I'm very comfortable just picking this up and just stitching on it. The only thing that I'm having an issue with is that I'm too close. My stitching is right up to the Q-snap, so I'm trying to work up this way instead. Yeah, which is going to be, this is almost at her face. Like, we're working in this area here. So that was her shoulder there, that flower, and across the top of her dress here. So yeah, very happy with the restart. I'm definitely going to be picking that up more and more often. It's not going to be pushed to the side like it had been last July. And the next project that was called for, so that was actually called in my Whip Go board because I knew I really love it and want to work on it, but perfect timing. That was a really good call. And the next one that is pulled for in Whip Go for June is my Cassiopeia by Mirabilia. And I don't have it on the Q-snap. I will be changing Adia out for this one. So this is our starting point for Cassiopeia for June stitching. And I don't really have a whole lot else except for my finish. And I'm thinking about changing out my what? Come on. There we go. I think Mariposa or Cassiopeia messed with the tones that time. So I'm not locked in on my monthly magazine challenge choices for the theme flowers. I had put down strawberry, my Jeanette Douglas strawberry sampler, because it's from a magazine. My Teresa Wentzler Welcome is also from a magazine, and it has flowers in it. I would like to stick to the magazines for the main theme. In case you didn't notice, I didn't get May done, which was song, and I had put welcome in for that. So anyways, yeah, I do have plans to pull out my sexy sampler, Les Belles Lettres de Gigi, and Rose Quaker. So that's the one that I'm thinking maybe I will change out my theme for flowers to Rose Quaker, because it is all flowers. It's unfortunate it's not from a magazine, and I'm tempted to change it to that because I didn't get a proper start on it. I only got about maybe 50 stitches on it. So yeah, so you're gonna see that. You're gonna see Letters to Gigi and Rose Quaker in the upcoming month. Aside from that, my finish, which was my second start, or was it my third start? I'm losing track of my starts here. What did I start? I started Rose Quaker first, and then the Simplicity pattern that I'm stitching along with Kim from Stitch and Stuff. So you'll be seeing that again, because I plan on working on it on the second Sunday in June, and every month, because it's a good time. It's just a good time to work on it. That's when we started it, was Mother's Day, which was the second Sunday in June, or in May. So I'm gonna keep going with that. So you'll be seeing that one as well. So this was my third start and finish. And it's only the mouse part of it is finished. I did not start the scissor roll because I have to finish Alice to chop off that piece of fabric. I mean, I don't have to finish it. I know where the bottom is, so I can cut it off, but it's not like I don't have enough things to stitch, right? So this is the mouse from the Just Nan Winter Mouse Scissor Roll. And her name is Victoria. On the pattern it's actually Frisia, but I worked on it on Victoria Day here in Canada. So this is not the called for fabric. I did switch it out for the gray printed fabric that I had in my stash, and I think it looks adorable. See, I'm trying to... I finished it when I was on the Zoom call for Monthly Magazine Challenge Group on Saturday. I did the finishing. It's not 100% complete because there is a little pom-pom that goes on her hat there, right there, and there's a couple of little flower charms that get stuck in with a pin. But other than that, it is fully finished. And I will finish the scissor roll, and then we'll see how compatible this is for the scissor roll, because this is supposed to sit on top of the scissor roll. So I think it'll be fine. And if it doesn't fit on top of the scissor roll, I really don't care. They're just a little set, that's all. So right now, I think I need to put my whiskers in a different spot. And they're not very cooperative as far as being just straight. So there's my little mouse. Victoria. And for now, she sits on top of the little biscornu back there. And that's how small she is. So, I did have another piece of haul, but it was a Black Needle Society box, and I gave it to my sister because it was her birthday. I am going to be suspending, I have already suspended my Black Needle orders, and, you know, pinching pennies here. But I told her if she's interested in it, I will continue ordering it and give them, you know, like, well, I'll give them to her and she pays me back. Because I just don't find they're worth the value. They're not 100% stitching stuff, and I would rather it be 100% stitching stuff. The last box had popcorn and a cup and a bottle opener. I would have kept the bottle opener. You know, I mean, have one novelty item and then the rest stitchy stuff. I'd be okay with that, but it was a lot more novelty item than stitchy stuff, and there wasn't even a piece of fabric. Now maybe I just didn't get a piece of fabric in my box. I didn't look at the booklet to see if there was supposed to be fabric, so I ended up giving her the fabric from another stitchy box as well. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna, you know, play it by whatever she wants to do. If she wants to continue, if she wants to get more of them, she'll be getting them, not me. Yeah, and aside from a 1, 2, 3 order coming in, that's all I have. And that's honestly, it's even a small order because I don't even think I ordered a chart or fabric. I know. What's wrong with me? No, I'm just kidding. I'm pinching pennies. So, that's it for the stitching. No, it's not. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? I keep looking at it and I, you know, go on and on and on and on. Would you like to see Beloved? Oh man, what is my thing, right? Okay. Maybe one of these days I'm just going to stop showing you Beloved and show it to you when it's finished. Well, today's not that day. Beloved. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork by Adele Sessler. I believe you can also find her on Heaven and Earth as Adele Lorraine. In case you can't find it under Sessler. But here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. So, yes, quite a bit of work done. As a matter of fact, I believe I am about 600 stitches over my weekly goal. My weekly goal being 1,400 stitches, and I'm pretty sure last week I got over 2,000 because Monday was a holiday. And yeah. So I have this week off, so I was hoping to get more, well, a lot more work done on this than I usually do. And so I've finished off this tendril of hair here. We are very close to being done with this section. I have completed 3 colors to date, and I am at 93.6% finished. Yep, it's coming along. So today I was hoping to get, yesterday when I was working in over here, I did 740 something stitches. As I'm stitching over here, I'm like, oh, this one has 40 stitches. I finished off whatever it was in here, that was that color. There was 10 stitches left. They were over here and over here. There was 3 stitches and 4 stitches, and I'm like, well, where's the other 3? And I'm slowly scanning on Pattern Keeper, going back and forth, trying to find those stitches. I could not find them. So then I scrolled up and scanned back and forth, and I found them, marked as not stitched. So I was like, well, let me look at the actual, let me look here and see if they actually are missed. And I need to find the spot now. Right up here is the spot where the stitches were missing. And they actually were missing. They were not stitched in yet. Along with another color not stitched in yet. And then I noticed in Pattern Keeper there was another symbol, like over here or something, not stitched in. So I did some hunting, and turns out it was not stitched in. So there was about about 8 stitches in the pages above that were not stitched in. So I stitched those in, and that one color is completely done, and I finished another color shortly after that. And yeah, this is where we're at now. I cannot believe I almost forgot it again. I mean, that is why a lot of you are still watching. They want to see it done. I know Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch has commented that she's surprised that I haven't made it a focus. It's very tempting. Very, very tempting. I am starting a new project in August with Carolyn from Carolyn Zook, C Zook Stitch, on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And we're starting a stitching shelf, Max Color, August 12th, World Cross Stitch Day. So I'm trying my best to get this one finished before I start that, but that is not going to be, that one is not going to take the place of this one. That one is like 180 colors. This one is 27. This one I work on in the mornings before I go to work, and I can get about 140 stitches done a day because it's only 27 colors. That one I anticipate not being able to do that because it is so many colors. I was actually planning originally to start that when Hatter by Gecko Rouge is finished. If you remember, if you've been around, that one is only about 2 pages. 1 page row complete and a little bit above, and yeah, it's not near done. So yeah, I'm just chugging along, just working on what I can work on when I can, whatever I feel like, really, which is why the challenges have kind of gone to the side. It's nice to pick up a different project and have a goal on it. But my goals for WhipGo kind of superseded the goals for Monthly Magazine Challenge. It's nice if I can get them to work together. But they didn't. They didn't this time. So I'm hoping next month, June, it works out a lot better. We'll see. It's going to be a crazy month. I don't have any time off in June, but I do in July, and then that's going to be an even crazier month. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go. Yeah, I should probably go over to the son's house and do some prepping so he can move in. So until next time, which should be in a week, I don't anticipate any problem with me filming next week. So yeah, till next time, bye. Happy stitching, take care of each other, all that stuff.